Hey everybody, have you ever dealt with an abusive woman as a man? I wrote a chapter about this. It's chapter 8. It's what we're going to discuss today, but I'll be brief. Just a few minutes. I just want to go through some of these chapters and just have a look at what conversations we can have about the chapters. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. I mean, if you look back at how consistent I've been, I just had to figure some things out. But dealing with an abusive woman, basically, the reason I wrote this chapter or this piece was because I feel like a lot of guys don't know how to deal with that. A lot of guys who are behind bars or known for being abusive or have abused a woman could have been one time. Um, it's because they didn't know how to deal with the things that women do. Sometimes it feels like women's abuse is legal and ours is illegal. And I'm not condoning or justifying. What I'm saying is when you hurt someone's feeling, when you psychologically attack somebody all the time, that's abuse. And that's not illegal. No one goes to jail for that. And yet that's what may lead you to snap. A lot of guys have hypertension, you know, heart diseases, stress, because sometimes you really love the woman you married, but to her, you're a means to an end. She never really cared about you that much. She liked you when you're doing well. So let's say something goes wrong in your life, and now you gotta hear every day how you're a loser. And it's COVID-19. People are losing jobs and businesses. People have to figure things out. Now imagine you with a woman who now doesn't see you as a man or a human being because of that. So I've always felt that you gotta deal with that constructively. In terms of the outcomes that you're gonna get. I'm not an expert on it. I'm only expert in terms of I've had to deal with. One time a woman was harassing me. We'd been together 2.5 months. And she was supremely jealous. She hated the person who introduced us. She's not the only one like that. I'm talking about, I call her First Lady. I'm just clarifying the nickname will give me an alibi because I'm pretty cool with some other people who are like that, but I'm talking about First Lady. Um, she was so aggressive. One time we had an argument and she's like, "You don't know me." She looked at me and said that. I'm thinking, okay, what's that about to become? And one time it was a birthday, like I think on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, and I had money, little bit of money, but I was gonna get money on Friday. So I said, let's just wait till Friday. And we take a walk down the road. It was a place called Soho, and we go there, and she just she starts ordering and helps someone else order, and then it's like a big bill, and I'm supposed to pay for it. Like surprise, surprise! Like she threw me off. I mean, you know. Luckily, I had some cash on me because she didn't have any money. She just went to town. And then I fetched her mother. She was from somewhere else. I fetched her mother from the airport, the old airport, before King Shaka Airport. And the mother wanted me to have dinner with her. She wanted to meet my mother, which was pretty embarrassing because it's a new relationship. But my mother agreed. She never liked this woman. But she agreed to come. And her mother was such a lady. My mother diagnosed me with this thing called a wounded healer because I've been writing about gender issues since then. This was 2008. She said, "You're a wounded healer. You write about domestic situations or gender issues because you're a child of a woman who went through that." And I really appreciate that. I never forgot that. Um, so my point is, when I took them to dinner again, she ordered something so big, like this big thing of this big platter of fish and whatever. And it was just embarrassing how unclassy she was, and she couldn't even finish what she ordered. It was just ridiculously big. It was like she took the most expensive thing on the menu. Now we break up. 2.5 months. I'm in Cape Town. She's harassing me, and I'm like, okay, I need to think about if I want to be in this relationship. So when I get back to Maritzburg to PMB, I don't talk to her, and I'm like, I'll see you over the weekend. I think we got back midweek. I just needed, or maybe it was the weekend. I'll see you on Monday. There goes the messages, and I'm like, okay, now I'm done with her. I needed time to wait, time to think about this thing and how to talk to her calmly, and she won't let me, so I'm gonna break up with her. And I go. I remember that I did the craziest thing, I shocked myself because she was so jealous. She wanted me to keep some clothes at her place, um, and so I was fetching those few things, and I had this. I packed a suitcase. It wasn't a lot of stuff, but I needed a suitcase to get it. I remember that when I get there, after all these insulting messages, she's smiling and grinning. Oh, she looked beautiful. And I remember she was just like making me feel ridiculous. Like, what are you doing? And I remember kicking the suitcase. She was shocked, and I was shocked. I was so angry. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? And when you make me do that, I feel really bad. Before that, I once waited till this girlfriend of mine walked out. This was 2000, and I punched a boombox, a radio. Yeah, I did. But she was out of the room. But when she came back, she said, "That's like punching me." You know, I was that frustrated. So I know my limitations, right? Um, so I left, right, and we're done now. But now she says, for all the nights you spent here, because when I be with my mom, she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't mind. I don't like staying at home anyway. I don't mind being here more often. Where are you?" So I spent a lot of time with her, right? Understandably, of course, for the good reason, more time, more quality time. Yo, this woman starts telling me I owe her money for all the time I spent at her place. She once sent me a bill for the lights um, during the relationship, and the toilet seat had broken. She wants the toilet seat. Dude, it was crazy. Now she's try a few times a day. She's messaging me crazy stuff. You owe me money, you little shit. It was like the most insulting. And I had to say, calm down. You sound like you're gonna do me harm. What's wrong with you? The way I dealt with that one was because I was mad as hell. I'm like, ooh, I can see myself breaking all my rules, right? I It was early days of Facebook, right? 2008. So we were in Facebook friends, but no one knows we are a couple except maybe two people. And also, we're not in relationship with each other. It's just another person I added. So what I do was to make her nervous. I write, yeah, I can't believe this. I'm being harassed. I'm saying I'm getting crazy. And it's like I send that, and it's like quiet, and then she does this thing again, and I'm like, yo, what do you do when someone's messaging you crazy stuff and they insulting you? It almost feels like they're gonna harm you. The one time she sent it, I'm with my lawyers, and they had a good laugh at me. My friends are like, I'm like, there she goes again, and they laughing. I'm like, shit, they're Asian, maybe. Let me shut up. Maybe they have the experience like that. Cool. Yeah. Uh, People have tendencies depending on their cultural settings and all that, because they were used to it. So they laughing at me. I'm thinking I'm not used to this shit. But ultimately, she starts saying, "This thing of us is private. Why are you going?" And I'm like, "You gotta stop messaging me, because I don't know what to do now. You seem like you're gonna do me harm. I'm a bit nervous about you." I remember sending her money that she said I owed her, and this toilet seat said I owe her. And again, she was smiling at me. I was just like, "What the hell? This is some weird stuff." But anyways, my Facebook thing worked. The guy was embarrassed for me. He was like, he inboxed me like, "Don't write about this. You live. Just keep it between the two of you." And I ignored him because I knew, like, I need this thing to stop because I was going through stuff as well. I'm on edge. I'm really angry actually. So I didn't trust myself. The point is that little thing stopped it. I got embarrassed. It embarrassed me, but it stopped the harassment, right? Because a lot of people don't do this thing of integrity where whatever you do, you'd be okay if the whole world knew you did it. You'd be okay. Um, So when they feel like they're gonna be exposed, they get shy, they get embarrassed, and they retreat. Not perfect, not ideal. It's better than punching somebody. So I've done that, and it worked. And one day she wrote me a long note about how I broke her heart. I don't know how you break someone's heart so badly in 2.5 months. She already told me about guys she liked deeply. She had a picture of this other guy. So, God bless her. But we did speak. At some point, I went to her, I saw her, and I just gave her a hug. She also wrote me a sob story about how I'm not from this country. One day you'll date somebody in a different country and you'll know what it's like. She was causing fights, man. And the one time she said people harass her along the road, and the one time she said the security guard only makes her produce a student card when she enters the gate. So I went to see, stupid me. I don't learn. I went to see what's going on. As soon as I start talking to the guy, she starts shouting at this guy, you want to harass me? I'm thinking, oh Lord, what's wrong with this woman? We from Marisburg, like we from the ghettos. I might meet this guy later on and it turns into something else. So I'm like, calm down, I'm trying to understand him. He's like, no, I ask everybody for it. So it was one of those things where she just gets you into drama, is reckless with your money, doesn't listen to you or respect you. He's needy, he's in trouble all the time. And that is so damn familiar. So now that to me, that's a pattern of a person who's going to end up stalking you in the end because they just want to fight all the time. They're the big victim, they've been hurt. Guys, be careful. Learn to pick up patterns as you go through this dating life and just be careful because really you will end up in jail. A lot of guys, I know myself included, you don't know what makes you snap. And that's the problem is you don't know what makes you snap. And if you're going to be around a person who pushes you to your limits all the time, you're going to snap and do something crazy. So try and leave the person. Just move on, bro. You look stupid if you're married. You look stupid if, you know, you look like a good couple because you're keeping it safe. If she's a good girl from a good family, I mean, those people do it too. You look like, oh, you left Mr. So-and-so's daughter, but you were going to choke her otherwise. I'm not condoning violence. I'm saying it is possible to snap when you're under attack, when you're going through this abuse where maybe your wife just spends money recklessly. Famous people have those issues where the wife has the credit card pin codes and she just goes to town and she just spends. He's working hard to make this money and she's spending. That's abuse, you know, because when the money is done, you're gonna leave again. So guys, I'm just saying, like, take it easy and learn to cope with situations and be discerning, be careful, and know when to get out. It's a different world now. We don't need to stick with the one person, even if they're gonna make us destroy our lives and destroy ourselves. All right, Woman Love 365. Thank you very much. And again, woman, me doing this is to help you guys because maybe it's natural to provoke a guy. So I'm telling the guys how not to end up being provoked beyond reasonable behavior, you know? Woman Love 365 again. We're trying to figure this thing out together. But I'll be having conversations with a friend of mine and we'll keep growing together, guys. Comment, let me know. Get the book, check out the website, brian.khoza.love, and we'll just keep it going. All right. Much love. Peace.